Hi, my name is Sarah, and I have a passion for the divining arts. So, today, this is my first tarot reading. I've never done, tarot video, and I thought I would start off using a random deck. It's called the Black Moon Astrology deck. And I'm not that great at shuffling the cards. I never have been. I'll probably get better as I do more videos. But, yeah. So let me just clear this out here. Today, I'm going to do the sign of Scorpio. And why? I don't know. Just picked it. I kind of just go with my intuition. Here we go. I have a different type of approach, this type of practice, because I don't just consider it a practice. I consider it an art, a hobby, and a passion. So enough about what I think. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think anyways regarding these cards. So what I'm going to do here is do what I do is called knocking. Hello? Are there any answers? Definitely. What are they? Okay. Here we go. There we have. And this is how I do things. I pick cards randomly. And I do whatever the hell I want, okay? I make up my own Sun conjunct Uranus, okay, if you know what that means. I'm really primarily an astrologer for 20 years, so yeah. Okay, so with this, I have Mercury retrograde, and that is reinvention, but it is in the reverse. In the middle, in the center, in the present, I have Jupiter, which is abundance, and then I have Mars, which is force. Now, what does this tell me? Okay, this tells me that there could be, number one, violence. The only reason why I think that is because when you got Jupiter and Mars together, that's accentuation, friend, and it's going to be lighting up something like a damn time bomb. And what I mean by a time bomb is this has been coming for quite a while. And it's going to have to do, not necessarily with violence possibly, but more or less verbal assault. Think about it. If you have Mercury retrograde in the reverse, that's going to be like a Mercury non-retrograde, but whatever. There's going to be misconstrued communication, but it may be remedied. However, if you have Mars, which is a very impulsive energy, and you have Jupiter, which just blows everything out of proportion, Scorpio, you have the tendency to have a sword-like tongue or already. You are very good at putting people in their place, and with the emotional aspect of your sign, which obviously can appear non-emotional to a lot of people. This is why you have been resorting to possibly thinking in the abstracts. If you have Jupiter in the presence, this is a person who's saying, wait a minute, better reevaluate things. So they're going inside, introspect. And so let's take this a bit further. We got Gemini, and we have Sagittarius, and we have Aries. We have fire and air. This is a yang type reading, meaning it's got a lot of masculine energy in it. And this tells me that this has been coming, like I said, for a while. This is something that's been held in for quite some time. If we're thinking about Mercury retrograde, we're talking about a 2.5 week period. So, I don't know. There may have been some tensions mounting over this last 2 weeks. Another thing I have to say is Jupiter and Mars. We're talking about sex, okay? Somebody may be overly sexually... I don't really mean to like to talk about this kind of subject, but I just bring it up because it's there. And the person may be promiscuous. They may be unsure of whether, if they're in a relationship, they're in it for the right reasons. Are they in it for lust? Are they in it for love? And that's what I'm talking about here. Scorpio type energy is already extremely intense. And so this Jupiter-Mars is going to very much blow their... actions out of the water. This person's going to go full-fledged. So, another thing you want to consider is that if you're a Scorpio, you may have Libra type tendencies in your chart, or Sagittarius when it progresses, and that's a whole different story. But this tells me that not only will you have the ability to articulate your words correctly, you will have the ability to consider the philosophical beliefs behind your statement, really be able to back them up, totally believe. Jupiter is about believing. Jupiter has a lot to do with religious values and things of that nature. And not necessarily religion, but more or less just your thoughts about the higher power in general. So when I see Gemini, I see a trickster. I see some tricky energy here. So you just want to be aware that there is not somebody with this retrograde, in reverse, slandering you behind your back. Another thing I guess I could say, just off, because I do this stuff off the rip. There's going to be a very masculine male, because it's going to be, like I said, a forceful individual in your life. And as you know, these tarot readings resonate with either yourself or they're going to be the other person that you are manifesting, meaning that you think about them quite often. And when you do that, you are intentionally bringing the law of attraction towards you. So if you're thinking negatively and you're saying, I'm never going to be with anyone, I'm a loser, I'm an old person, blah, blah, blah. No. It's never too late. Never too late. And Jupiter and Mars will tell you that. Mars is all about, like, being on time. And it has a lot to do with time. Because, Saturn. Anyways. So, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter, and Mars. So, I think about the 1st, the 9th, and the 3rd. So, once again, this is all about communication. It's like I said at the beginning of the video, could have physical violence. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, it's going to end up in a court situation. Why? Because Jupiter has to do with the court systems. Mars, another thing about them is that this is a very egocentric person. Somebody who's all out for themselves. They have no regard for anyone else. They just want to get what they want. So they will be like a snake in the garden, and they're going to tell you what you want to hear. And they're going to be able to do that with the Libra type tendencies that they have acquired. And what I mean by that is if you bring Venus into the picture, you're going to have a Rico Suave on your hands. You're going to have somebody who is charming you into something. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be into a job. It could be somebody making something look better than it really is, And we all know that something that looks too good to be true is often not true. And Jupiter, boom. Now it's the largest planet in the solar system. You can't miss it. But being the 9th house, anyone with Jupiter in their chart is going to have the ability to make something much more exciting and elaborate than it really is. So then let's bring in the fact that there may be pathological lying. A person who believes their own lies with this Mercury retrograde and uses it to their advantage, Mars, in their actions. And they, like I said, it's just blown out of proportion. Now, I'm going to take this is another deck. It's similar to the Arthur Waite. I'm not sure. I got all these different decks. I don't have the exact Arthur Waite I did before, but anyways, rambling aside. Sorry, I'm kind of weird, sorry. So here we go. Like usual, everybody, I'm really not prepared. I just kind of put on the camera and say, let's go. Let's go. Once again, I'm going to pick 3 cards here, and I'm just going to make a quick analysis. I call this a snapshot, in which I try to, what's the word? The word is be very, impulsive, which can, be detrimental sometimes. But if you're doing it off the rip, it's more or less likely to be correct. The first answer is always correct. Usually, if you're following your intuition. Okay, so what we have here are the Queen of Wands, the Two of Cups, and a Knight of Swords. So what does this mean? It means that we have several elements involved. We have fire, we have water, and we have the Knight of Swords. In the current energy, you're going to have some emotional, I don't want to say stability, but I can say that it's going to be nice. Two cups is about getting together with one and becoming one. It doesn't necessarily mean romantic, but the cups are water, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be emotional. Usually it is romantic, but it could be pretty much anyone. Someone you have an emotional bond with, like maybe a parent or a child. Now, Queen of Wands. So, this individual in the recent past, and it could be you, it could be them, Scorpio, is usually, Wands, Queen of Wands is very much Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries energy. And if you're dealing with the Two of Cups, we're dealing with, I believe it's Venus and Cancer. And then if you have the Knight of Swords, we're talking about an individual who's rushing in full force. And the swords have to do with the mind. So the Knight of Swords, and I believe, I'm not sure, but it's more Aquarian than anything. And so it's very sudden. Knights are sudden. They just rush in. Fools rush in, right? But they're not fools. They've been, having this strategy going on in their mind. Air signs usually do have a strategy, and if you're dealing with an Aquarius, they've got a strategy. So what I'm seeing here overall is beware of somebody taking advantage of your emotions and manipulating you with words to get what they want. A person who is looking to not use you, because they won't say it that way. They won't say, I'm using you. Or whatever. I'm not using you, or whatever. My point is that this is going to be what appears to be a innocent type of exchange. And what I mean by exchange is that this person could be wanting some type of support from you, monetary support, emotional support, something that you may not be able to offer at this time because you're going through so much stuff yourself. Scorpios are so intense as it is, as you know, and when we're bringing every element except for Earth, and this tells me that there's no practicality here. I'm telling you, I see some impulsive decision making here. So in the past, and the person is striving to maintain a somewhat stable relationship with somebody that is either living with them or talking with them via, and I don't know why I'm getting this, but social media. And the only reason why I say that is because it's like the Knight of Swords doesn't necessarily have to physically rush in. And if we're talking about Aquarius energy here, we're talking about a person who's going to be using the internet because Uranus and rules over Aquarius, and that means that, boom. To me, we're talking about Scorpios, you know that you can be prone to zeroing in on somebody and just won't let go. Pitbull syndrome. However, someone might pull that card on you. Someone might start, I don't want to say stalking, but watching you, looking for whatever, looking for patterns, saying, oh, well, this person told me that they were doing this, but they posted something on Facebook at the exact time that they told me that they were out with their sister. They're lying, and then I'm going to blow up. No. You don't want that, because that's extremely intense energy. And I do see a lot of intensity, especially like in the first deck I used. Remember, with the Jupiter and Mars, we're talking some intense emotions. And we bring the Two of Cups, Venus, Cancer. Okay, so if you know anything about astrology, Cancer is a pretty manipulative sign. All the water signs can be. But this is about, like I said, a family, really. Someone you consider to be, if they're not your family, as close as blood family. So I guess what I would do to wrap this video up, is I don't want to make it too long. It already is. Sorry. I guess the best thing I can do, say as advice, is to be careful who you are telling information to, because, like I said, there's a great possibility of someone slandering you behind your back and possibly blackmailing you. In a positive sense, I see the ability to ignite a relationship and make it quite more passionate. Because in the past, you feel like you possibly lacked passion, or this person wasn't showing you emotionally that they loved you. They may have been too in the Knight of Swords energy, meaning they're just too focused on the logic behind it. They're focused on the strategy. They're focused on the words. But at the end of the day, it's about how you feel inside. Okay? And Venus in Cancer is very good at feeling. As you know, their keyword saying is I feel. So, yeah. Like I said, this is my first tarot video. I hope I did all right. I just want to help people. And, I've been in such a dark place lately. And for a couple of years now, and it's popping out of the woodwork again, like a Sun conjunct Uranus person does. And I'm gonna see if I can, enjoy, continue this. And if you do like the way I am handling myself when I do these videos, please like and subscribe. It would really, I guess, supposedly, it helps out someone's channel. I don't know. I don't really know a bunch about algorithms or whatever. I gotta kind of explore that. But thanks. Thank you for listening to me and taking, 15 minutes of your time to hear what I have to say. And like I said, if you want to hear more of what I have to say, just, tell me, make a suggestion in the comments and tell me what you like to see next. And I will be focusing on another sign or random sign. I just pick it. I go like this. I say pick a number 1 to 12. I'll ask my husband.